So Move On's all about unlocking the potential of young people, people affected by homelessness, who've often been told that they're not going to succeed, that they're not going to excel. When I first met Declan, it was clear that he was facing a lot of barriers in his life. He'd been struggling at school, he wasn't attending, it wasn't an environment where he was able to thrive or excel.
Lots and lots of anxiety I'd always had since I was a very young kid. Issues that were going on around me that were affecting my life dramatically but were totally out of my control, and I suppose I took a lot of that on myself, where I felt that for me I wasn't doing enough, I wasn't good enough, and these things were happening because of the ways I was acting, and I just couldn't really find any sort of way out of it, to be perfectly honest. So I didn't feel particularly positive about myself at the time.
We could see that he had a huge amount of potential, and we knew that at Move On we could help really grow that potential and help grow his aspirations, help grow social networks and his confidence.
When I first went to Move On, I met loads of different people who had came from similar backgrounds to myself and had similar issues, like growing up in schemes, kind of chaos in the background of their families, addiction issues, and even despite the kind of issues and adversity that they'd faced at a young age for them, they managed to come out the other side of it and find themselves in a position where they're able to support other people doing that, and I just found that amazing, to be perfectly honest. It was something that I found really motivating for me to move on myself.
What we try and create at Move On is an environment that builds trust, that's very welcoming, and actually enables people to feel that they can get out of their comfort zones, try new challenges and try new things. So Declan then came back to Move On, which was fantastic, and became a volunteer mentor with us.
And it gave me my first opportunity to be able to work with other young people, just individually on their own, to see, maybe talk about some of the issues that they've gone through and share some of my own experiences. So it was a welcome new challenge that I'd never done before. The coping mechanisms that I had to deal with my issues dramatically improved. I was much better at socialising with people and talking to other people.
And Declan really did brilliantly in that environment. And he was able to talk from the heart about his own life experience, what he knew now, what he knew then.
I've been there, and thankfully I've managed to come out the other side there. That makes me able to much better relate to young people that I work with, and I think it means that I can build much stronger connections with people when they do come through the service. I'd always said in a very vague sense that I liked the idea of working with people and supporting them to overcome their own barriers, whatever they might have been, and I think that today mentoring and be able to do that firsthand was really positive for me. It was a really enlightening experience. I really liked being involved in Move On. I didn't want that to change.
We were recruiting staff, and Declan put an application, and he was the best candidate. And we value people with life experience. We've really appreciated the opportunity to work with him as a service user, as a volunteer, and now as a staff member.
My passion is working with people. I've found my niche and I've found my place that I want to continue in, and I think that for me, if I can even take one or two small steps and make some small dents to help people overcome their barriers to reach their own potential, then I'm doing all right.
He's come such a huge way. He's really fulfilled the potential that we saw that he always had. He's really done it himself. You know, he's always had that ability, and is a fantastic role model for other young people to show actually just how far they can go.
If I think about possibly where I would be right now if I hadn't been involved in Move On at the time I honestly don't know. I think that with the levels of anxiety and kind of chaos that was happening around me, and just the strong alienation and confusion that I felt in life, I honestly don't know where I would be. I still have up and down days like everyone does, but I'm in a much better place in my life. I feel a lot more assertive about myself. I feel a lot more comfortable about my place in the world. For me to have had the support and the people around me that I did over those formative years to get me to where I am right now, I'm so grateful. I can't put it into words, I really can't.